and built cars which cost up to £30,000. That's enough work for the next 2 years. But 6 months ago it was touch and go whether the company could survive. It needed an overdraft for vital expansion plans, but the bank refused. However, the managing director wouldn't take no for an answer.
You have to attack now and again. You don't have to sit back and have them make a decision that could destroy your life.
With £3 million worth of orders on the books and assets of around £1 million, the company is now on a firm financial footing. The workforce of 20 is expanding, and the success of the car means that Bill Steadman can go ahead with his plans to produce a revolutionary new motorhome.
With the people retiring a lot earlier than they have done in the past, people want to be mobile. Everybody wants to be mobile, and I felt that this was a product that will eventually be in need by a lot of people that are retiring.
It's known as an expander van, and it's been patented worldwide. The idea is blindingly simple. The walls of the van fold out on each side to create a large living area. It'll also be produced as a luxurious motorhome.
Ordinary caravans today, well, every caravan produced today is produced under a corridor principle, so that in effect you get from one part of the caravan to the other by a narrow walkway. And in fact, claustrophobia sets in quite quick once you're in a caravan. So the idea is to open the sides up and get a room, a living room, like in a house. So in effect, nobody gets that claustrophobic feeling, and the holiday stay becomes a holiday stay. It's enjoyable. And we think that the public, once this is made available to them, will want this caravan much more so than the caravans that are being produced today. And I envisage that we will be producing a lot of them.
With help from the Department of Trade and Industry, Ottercraft has already negotiated for a new factory site on an industrial estate near Camborne. The company hopes to employ many of the skilled engineering workers recently laid off from the Cornish tin mines and other companies.
If everything goes according to well and that things work out, within about 3 to 4 years we could be employing an awful lot of people, probably 300, maybe 400.
And to get to East Online, thanks to a businessman in Cornwall. Bill Steadman has set up a factory in Hale to manufacture a 1987 version of the classic SS100, the car which made the reputation of the Jaguar company.
This was the fruit of almost 3 years planning and tooling up the first car off the production line at the Foundry Lane factory in Hale. Outwardly, the Stallion, as it's being called, is a near-perfect replica of the Jaguar SS100, but under its all-metal body shell are modern Jaguar components, either new or reconditioned, and that means the price of each car will vary between £17,000 and £24,000. But for that price, you'll get a car that's made to measure and a performance that no one seems quite sure about yet. The engine's the same 4.2-litre power plant that drives the Jaguar XJ6, but since this car's only 2/3 the weight of the XJ6, you can draw your own conclusions about its speed. The man behind the project is putting his faith in a demand for a vehicle that's finished to the very highest standards.
The English actually have a tremendous amount of skills, and it's the one thing that I think everybody seems to forget about in this England just at this moment. We all seem ready to run the country down. We've got Japanese building with robots and making a good job of it, apparently, cars on an assembly line, but what they can't do is what we can do, and that is to put individual flair and the high skill and the bespoke tailor type of construction for a man individually, which needs the English sort of entrepreneurial spirit, also needs that sort of flair of being able to satisfy the whim of somebody, and we can actually do that.
So having taken that decision then, why pick on the Jaguar SS100 to make your replica of?
And if you go to any of the English museums and ask any of the curators of the museums for cars, invariably everybody says the most beautiful car that was ever made was the SS100. Mr. Lyons of Jaguar, at that time there was a brilliant flair. It was the period when England was really at its utmost glory, and we could really make stunning cars, and that is the most stunning car in the world, I think.
The factory already has a network of firms within Cornwall supplying parts or services, and there are plans to be building 1 car a week by next July. Unlike many other replica cars, it won't be available as a kit, so the present workforce of 14 could rise to 100 within about 3 years. That's assuming there's a good demand. And Bill Steadman has his potential wealthy clientele well targeted.
The man who's actually made his way in the world today would like to express and show the rest of us what he's achieved, and there's no better way than a calling card at the golf club or at the pub of the car. I mean, the car today represents everybody's epitome of what we've achieved in this world, and that's what that is for.
When we profiled the making of the TS100, a replica of the 1930s Jaguar SS100, the first automotive love of the company owner Bill Steadman. Earlier this year, there were just 3 TS100s in existence, and the cost £26,000. Now, Bill is making his first trip to an international motor show to show his car to the world.
Well, we're going to get orders. We've got a number of people who we've already had correspondence with who are actually coming here at the show to meet us, and we're also signing up a number of agents in other parts of the world.
Now, we last spoke to you, early in the summer. How have things progressed since then?
Well, now we've got 22 cars in the factory that are always under construction. We're in the process of going into larger premises, and at the moment we've got to do something about our marketing, because the inquiries we're getting from not only in this country, from abroad, need a lot more expertise than we've got at the moment.
What kind of help have you had with your expansion plans?
Well, we are getting help from the Penwith Council. They're actually helping us with some of our development ideas, and we're also getting help from the Industrial Development Corporation on our general expansion. So we're in line for more grants.
Now, it looked early in the summer as though most of the production was going to be for export. Is that still the case?
Yeah, I'm sorry to say at the moment it seems that that's the way it's going, but we would like, and it looks as though it's going to happen quite shortly, and that is we're going to develop a much better relationship with the Europeans.
To increase the production to match increased sales will mean not only bigger premises, but a closer relationship with Jaguar, using their decades of expertise in building the originals, as well as supplying the modern engines. Sadly for you and me, that price of £26,000 does rather rule the TS100 out of court.
Well, actually it is affordable to the ordinary chap, in the respect that they can buy this in a KD form and then build it themselves, and they're talking about £12,000. And within 6 months or less, they could then have the same car that we've got here. So in effect, it is available.
Now Bill Steadman is working on the next project, a replica of this, the